supposed to take on the responsibilities of both partners. What happens if one of the partners is holding the other partner to ransom, all in the name of love? Tonight on Life Steals, we're discussing holding love to ransom. My guests, I'll let you in on who they are shortly. My name is Lily Mohammed. This show is proudly brought to you by Peck Biscuits. Before we delve into the conversation, let's listen to this letter sent in from one of our viewers.
Dear Tales, I'm in a fix as I write you now and very disturbed. My wife has been threatening me with a divorce. Recently, my wife and I gave birth to twins, which has brought us so much joy, but has also brought a lot more financial responsibility on us, which we anticipated. Yet, my wife wants to bring more financial stress on us. I used to pay her brother's school fees of 5,000 cedis, including rent of my mother-in-law. However, I told my wife that because of our children, I will have to cease paying fees of my brother-in-law. Ever since I made this known to her, she threatened to divorce me. It is not only that, but she has also threatened to stop performing her domestic duties, and she's already stopped cooking. This situation has made me very unhappy. I'm even scared of going home anytime I close from work at 5 p.m. It has affected my mental health. I definitely don't want my wife to divorce me because we just had our twins. Please help me. Dear Tales, I'm in a fix as I write you now and very disturbed. My wife has been threatening me with a divorce. Recently, my wife and I gave birth to twins, which has brought us so much joy, but has also brought a lot more financial responsibility on us, which we anticipated. Yet, my wife wants to bring more financial stress on us. I used to pay her brother's school fees of 5,000 cedis, including rent of my mother-in-law. However, I told my wife that because of our children, I will have to cease paying fees of my brother-in-law. Ever since I made this known to her, she threatened to divorce me. It is not only that, but she has also threatened to stop performing her domestic duties, and she's already stopped cooking. This situation has made me very unhappy. I'm even scared of going home anytime I close from work at 5 p.m. It has affected my mental health. I definitely don't want my wife to divorce me because we just had our twins. Please help me.
Okay, so my guest tonight, Kelly Daniels, is a family advocate. Jane Ifwa Oba, she's the CEO of Joe's Bakery and Catering Services and Party on Ice, an events management company. And Bernard Benson Senior, he's the CEO of Skybase Entertainment. These are my guests. My name is Lily Mohammed. Good evening to you, lady and gentlemen.
Good evening. Good evening.
Let me start with you, Kelly.
Yes.
I mean, I'm going this way because I am right-handed, right? Yeah. Do you think that this lady is trying to hold the husband to ransom because she thinks he loves his kids and so they are his weakness?
Unfortunately, I believe that we do not know how to be patient to know who we are committing to before we call the person husband or wife. I see that this man had seen elements of what is now playing out, but he possibly ignored those things because he thought it didn't matter. When a woman begins to capitalize on your soft spot for her, your weakness for her, your appreciation of her, your celebration of her, things begin to go wrong. Now, I'm not saying that a man should not be fully expressive as to giving his all to his woman, but don't play that game if it's not mutual. Don't play that game until you realize that it's symbiotic. Marriage is not 50-50. That's where people miss it. Marriage has never been 50-50. Anyone who thinks marriage is 50-50
so what is it
will
then?
fail at it at the end. Marriage is 100-100. I don't give 50 and you give 50. It means that I give half of my capacity and you give half of your capacity to form one. That's zero.
But they say and the two shall become one.
No, the two shall become one. Not half of each of the two shall become one. So I give my 100, I pour my heart out, I give my everything, leaving nothing behind. And when you do the same, we become one whole. But if I give my 50% of who I am, and you give 50% of who you are, then we have an imbalanced 100. It means that there's still more I can give, but because I know that you're only giving 50, let me just give only 50. So marriage is not 50-50. No true love is 50-50. Real love is 100-100. So you pour out your everything, and then the other person pours out the everything. What is lacking in this relationship is that the guy was willing and is still willing to give everything, and she's still giving her 50. Or her, whatever percentage she feels right. That's why it looks like she's taking advantage of the man's situation. If they symbiotically loved each other, like I pour out my everything and you pour out your everything, the man will not be feeling the way he's feeling right now, and the woman will not even calculate in her intentions to treat him the way he's treating him. Obviously, she sees that this man is losing his mind and things are going south, and she doesn't budge. She doesn't feel bad that she's doing something to this man. So it means that this man loved this woman, all emotions and everything together in place, but it wasn't symbiotic, yet he went into it. And now we are dealing with the ripple effect of a mistake that could have been avoided. So, do I think she's taking advantage of him for whatever reason? Yes. Because she knows what she can use to trap him down, knowing that he's full of family intentions and drive and all that move and all the love encapsulated into one whole of being a nice man, a real man, a family-oriented man. But she has been out of this thing long ago, but is only keeping him for all the benefits that come with the package of who he is. That's what's happening.
She's been out, I mean, she just had a baby. How does she have a baby with somebody who she's out of, or she's falling out?
A woman can be pregnant for a man she doesn't love for every other reason but wanting the man. That's why a lot of people, ladies say, if I get pregnant for him, I'll trap him, because he's going to be a responsible man. He's going to give me this. I'm going to get a benefit. All these things. They don't want the man. They want everything that comes with the man, but not the man himself. So this is a situation of, should I say sabotage now? Should I call it, I can call it so many names, but that's not a wife. She's just an opportunistic woman.
Jane, let me take your thoughts on the letter.
It's quite an interesting one. Our generation is actually, we perceive marriage in a different level. It's all about what we stand to get in the marriage and what we have to offer. We don't think about the person that we are going to marry. No, it's all about what is in there for me. We don't care. We are like, we've turned marriage into a financial institution, or probably a charitable organization,
sponsorship,
or maybe a shelter house or something that we go in there and then we get something from it. That is all about it. The woman in the first place never loved the man. No. She never did. It was all about what she stands to gain in that marriage. That is it. Yes, you said she was pregnant. How come that she got pregnant and then just recently, and then she's doing all this? Yeah, a woman can go all length so far as she knows she's getting something at the end. She can go every length so far as she knows that she's getting a reward after it. I'm not sure that this man, the man saw the red flags plainly there, but ignored it because he was in love with the lady. The man saw the indications were so many there, but then he ignored it because he was in love. And it's even saddening that we have families that are ready to back such people. Has the lady's mother or even brother thought of where she's getting the money to pay all that expenses? They haven't, because truly they are actually okay with it.
Well, maybe, I mean, right from the get-go, the man had proven that I will take on every responsibility that there is regarding you and your family.
It's really a difficult situation now. And looking at things, I'm not sure that that was the case actually, because it looks like it's now getting more. He actually gave a commitment, but then it looks like it's getting more than he can actually bear.
Let me take your thoughts, Bibi.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, I want to use this opportunity to thank you for the opportunity. At least it's a way of I also trying to express myself and share my opinions. What marriage is all about. But Lily, let's take it from the basics. The two of them. On which ground were their courtship stood on? It's one of the fundamental we need to. Because when you read the story, my personal opinion is that the guy was trying to show off. I have it. I have the money.
I can do it.
I can do it. I can provide it. And that's the biggest mistake we the youth. We try to omit all the time. We always try to impress. But we also get to forget that don't start something that
You cannot finish.
you cannot finish. So he started doing what he thought he can do to win the soul of the lady. He started paying the school fees of his brother-in-law. In the first place, is it the responsibility of the man or the guy to pay a school fees of maybe a lady you are dating? They got it wrong. It's wrong. It's never done.
So
It's never
if
done.
he meets a lady and the lady at that point needs it, he shouldn't.
You see,
Exactly.
you need to support. But
See-
don't take it as a full responsibility upon yourself. You can do it once.
Responsibility
Or,
is optional.
okay, as a duty.
If I can afford to give my in-laws to be $1 million every month and it doesn't affect me, no problem. This man wasn't trying to show off. He was trying to let her know about his capability, not necessarily to win her heart, but look, I like you. I am willing to go as far as I can go for you. And I'm not doing this to catch your attention.
Can you let Bibi land
Yeah.
and then you
see,
can come
you see, the whole thing is that, you see, start something you think, even in the near future, no matter how the situation is, you can somehow manage it. You see, you started providing those kind of assistance through your courtship. You got married to the lady. Now the thing began,
Escalated.
it has escalated
Yes.
to different things. Now it has got to the stage that it should be a constant thing that you have to be doing.
He's not
now,
complaining.
you are waiting for the complaint. No, you see, don't wait for the complaint to come.
What
You understand?
he's
The
not
day-
getting...
Hold on.
The day the complaint will come will be different thing. You see, you have been providing. And you see, per the story, the lady is a very smart girl, smart woman, if I should put it. She tapped into the weakness of the guy. She realized that the guy even have a problem with maybe house responsibility, like cooking and those guys. Because when you read the message, she will not cook for him. That is why I always advise that as a young guy coming up,
Kelly can't even cook.
let it be.
Hey, we're on TV.
You see,
I can't cook.
you have to let it be.
We are cooking this weekend.
You see, there are certain things.
Yeah, right.
There are certain
Yeah,
things
right.
you need to learn it. You see, cooking. You know, we always assume that cooking is the responsibility
Of a
like of a
woman.
man. No, it is not. You see, when you get married, it is two people coming together. You need to support each other. When a man knows how to cook, how to do other responsibilities like laundry, washing, and accidentally something happens to your wife, maybe she's ill, she cannot do it, the man is supposed to be there because you are helping each other. You understand? So for me, the two of them, they are basic, as in their upbringing. I see
It's questionable.
Yeah, it's questionable. There's a problem there. Because it is interesting to find out that, I mean, is it food that if you don't continue doing those things, they are not going to cook for you? Assuming the guy knows how to cook, do you know that narration will be different? Because he can also say, oh, food, don't worry, don't cook. When I come back from work, I'll do it myself. What's happened? But it seems the guy doesn't know how to do anything. So the girl, the lady, the woman has also capitalized on it.
Of course.
As his weak point. So that is why I also say, in relationship, be careful. You know, we need to shut up when we are into relationship, especially marriage. No relationship or no marriage, cool. Nobody can say his or her marriage is perfect, is solid. When you talk too much in marriage, you try to expose your weaknesses to other people, because you coming together it's like someone is not happy of your marriage. You understand? So you always have to keep the two of you always have to keep your issues within yourself and know how to expose yourself. I knew, maybe I'm probably thinking that maybe the guy in the early stage when they were dating, he might also make the point that maybe I don't know how to cook, maybe I don't know how to do, and most of the young ladies do that. Maybe if you want to date me, they'll give you specification. Me, the only food, yes, the only food I can cook is rice. Me, I don't use my hand to wash. You see, as soon as you get a lady who is trying to give you this kind of condition, my dear brother, think twice.
But there's nothing wrong with that, is there?
There's nothing wrong
there's
with
nothing
that.
wrong. But you see, really, you know, for example, about this washing machine issue.
Not about.
You see, the issue is that it used electricity. What about if we have doing so for maybe a week? Are you trying to tell me you cannot use your hand to wash?
What if she cannot wash, and so she will employ the services of someone else to come and wash? If she can afford it, there's nothing wrong with it. I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Lily,
that would be for someone. But for me,
not a matter.
I feel like you have to somehow try
this
to
is
do
how
a
I
support.
see this matter. The man was vulnerable to her. There's nothing wrong with the man from what I see. The man was sincere to this woman from scratch. I can afford, I will do, this is who I am, this is who I intend to be. He has delivered on his promise from courtship to now that it is marriage. There's nothing wrong with what he has performed as he has promised. But what he bargained for is not what he's getting symbiotically from the wife. This wife, this lady is not a wife. She was never a wife in courtship. She was never a wife on the wedding day. She's not a wife right now in the marriage.
Could it also not be that it, like Bibi was saying,
Right.
they got the basics wrong. So right from the get-go, the man said, "Don't worry, I will help with this. I will pay school fees. I will do this."
There is nothing wrong with any of the responsibilities he said he would do. There's nothing wrong with all the responsibilities he was saddling during the courtship, paying for all of that. He could be a millionaire for all we know. But what I'm saying is this: when a man is vulnerable to you, it's not a bad thing. When a man is wholeheartedly ready to even die for you, it's not a bad thing. What is a bad thing is if you cannot reciprocate what he's giving to you in another version that gives the best of who you are to who he is. That's where this thing is wrong. So she's giving her best, he's giving her best, she's just there, capitalizing on what he has to offer. There's no capitalization in marriage. You give your everything, I give my everything. You don't need to bring money into the marriage if you don't have. I have, I'll take care of that. But what can you give me that money can't buy? That's what the man is beckoning for. The man is not complaining about what's happening in the house at the moment based on his capabilities. Maybe his money is getting to finish and things are not. No. All his cry, from what I see, is that I see a man who cannot have the reciprocation of what he's giving in cash in kind.
No. So the man in the letter, the man says, "I want to cease paying the school fees of your brother because now we have kids, and I want to save that money to take care of our children."
Which makes sense.
There's nothing wrong with what he has done with that statement. But you see, I would not mind keep doing that as long as the woman keeps playing her role. He's beginning to see that there are loopholes in this marriage because of the woman's disposition. If the woman had given everything, men don't think when it comes to women and money. Men don't. What did I say? Men don't think.
Baby,
No, hold on.
Baby, is that the case for you?
No.
Hold on. I'm not saying the man should be a waster. But I'm saying that the man is willing to give everything
are you talking
and
about today's
anything.
world?
Am I not alive? Am I not talking about myself?
Or maybe,
I will give anything.
Maybe
Just be the woman that you should be and play your role in a way that I don't have a reason to complain. And if there's a point of accountability, it will be a mutual agreement that, oh, based on this is how much you can spend and this is how much you can spend. But that is not the big case about this matter. Whatever happens, the man will still struggle to meet the need, whether the woman is taking advantage of his money or not. But this man is starving. This man is going through depression, and this man may die. You will not die, oh, in Jesus' name.
Amen.
But I do think that the man is being, he's stranded.
He is stranded.
Yes.
He's frustrated.
Do you know something? I noticed that.
And you know, in the letter, he said, anytime at the close of work, he's unable to go home.
Exactly.
And do you know why?
Emotionally, he's just down.
So money is not the problem.
No, money.
It
See,
can be
money
a
is.
problem.
Do you
He
know something?
feels that he's
Do
running
you know
more
something?
than
See, when you read.
He's bitten more than he can chew.
He can handle it.
Hold on,
From
Kelly.
the story, he can handle it. He's just emotionally battered.
Kelly, hold on.
Chairman,
Kelly,
per
hold on.
generation,
He says he is very unhappy.
Yes.
The situation has made him unhappy because
Did he say he's broke?
He said
No
he
way.
wants to channel the finances to his kids. Now he cannot afford to pay the school fees of the brother of his wife's brother.
Yes. Yes.
Because he wants to save up for the
Okay.
school or education of the kids.
No problem. Whilst he's saying that, he can look. A man would do anything to make sure his family, at least his nuclear family, is happy. But if this girl or woman was giving him the slightest moral support, this message won't get on TV. We will not be discussing it here. When you
Maybe has a
serve
point
a
anyway.
man in a certain way, he doesn't complain.
Exactly.
That's my point. When you truly serve a man and treat him like the king he rightly is, like his mother would do, Master, he will get an extra job. And I'm not saying that it is good to waste money. I'm only saying that when a man is taken care of, he silences a lot of things. Money is nothing to a man to release.
When you check out the narration, you could see the man is doing everything. Because I think the woman is not contributing much. Because if the woman could have been contributing, you see, I'm coming.
Kelly, hold on.
She could have been contributing, as the twins came, the man is ready now to take full responsibility of his own kids, which makes sense, which is the responsibility of the man. So, his brother-in-law, school fees 5,000. Maybe he might be thinking, when he add those 5,000 to his personal kids,
and then the money for the house rent of his mother-in-law,
everything will go up. So, assuming the woman could have also taken the responsibility, okay, fine. Do you know something? Kids have come. They are twins. Looking after twins, boss, is not easy. Even one, it's not a joke. To be a twin. So, as a wife, let him then take over what you used to do for my junior brother as the school fees, as a responsibility. That I'll be paying the 5,000, and you concentrate on looking after our own kids and the house responsibility as well. No it makes sense. But the lady is no bringing anything on board. So the man now is thinking that, no, if I don't look sharp, the responsibility
And everything
will be too much. Which, for me, what the guy is saying, that he is not going to pay the school fees based on the twins. I agree with him. It's perfectly right. But the woman also need to assist.
Let me ask you, Kelly, hold on. Let me ask you this:
Which
as
the
a
woman
woman,
is
do
not ready
you
to bring on
think
board.
there's a justification for this woman's action?
there is not.
Oh, the lady should go back to his father's house.
See, the gentleman.
There's no justification for what she's doing. If a man decides to help you out, it doesn't mean that, quote unquote, I mean, he's not normal.
Yes.
Then you have
But
to
But
advantage of
maybe
him.
you see, maybe that's how he started this
Yes,
whole.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The
That
basics.
doesn't mean
It's
that
very key.
you are bringing, because now you are bringing your brother's school fees, you are bringing your mom's rent.
Yeah.
Forgetting that we also have kids on our own. We now have kids. Well, when we started, there was no kids in it, but now we have their kids in the picture. And to make the matters worse, like you've decided not to help. You're not helping in any
You're
way.
not helping anything. So you're putting more pressure on the man.
There's so much pressure on the guy now.
See, the guy,
emotional
simple,
one, I
the
mean,
guy.
Baby, you are married.
Yeah.
At what point do you draw the line between responsibilities? How much responsibilities you can take? At
Thank
what
you.
point?
Next question.
You see, the whole marriage thing, It's two people.
Exactly.
I'm coming.
No, now with you.
Yeah.
No, I'm not
Yeah.
fighting you now. You are beginning to speak my language.
It's two people.
Great.
It's two individuals coming together to make one thing work.
Right.
Everybody has his own differences. Your background, your religion, your culture, everything. You come together. So it's not going to be that smooth at the beginning. But when there's a mutual understanding, when there's love, when you communicate, or when there's effective communication, let him use the word effective, because you can communicate which doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
When there's an effective communication between you and your partner, when the first communication comes, sometimes the man might think, oh, no, I don't agree with you. But when the woman who is actually giving out information takes time, break whatever is telling the man down for the man to understand, you see communication becomes effective. And psychologically, it changes his mind and it clicks with you. Then you move on. You see the responsibility. Let him use me for example, because I'm married. You see, in my home, ever since I got married to my wife, that is how we make it. We didn't have this system of chop money.
Really?
Oh, yes.
So what do you do?
Chop money as in, I'm putting money down for upkeep for the whole thing. See, me, I can go to work. On my way coming, I just go to market. I'm telling my reality. This is me. I'm not faking. I go to market, buy food stuff.
This is how
Buy the
I'm
food
with
stuff.
you. 100%.
And whenever I bring these things home,
It's
my wife becomes so
togetherness.
excited.
Exactly.
You see, one.
And the presents you get from her.
Oh, boss, don't go there.
To scatter
The
that is what I'm talking
The
about.
excited is that, you see, even a woman going to market, it's not a joke. And the money, maybe even though you are the one giving the money out there, going to the market, going up and down and doing things, it's another stress on its own. I'm talking about from my perspective. I do go to market without informing her. The time she realizes I just bought the thing. And sometimes, the time, maybe on Saturdays for instance, the time my wife will wake up from bed, I finish doing laundry. This is me. And I'm doing all those things because my basic or my upbringing was strong. I was taught to do all those things when I was growing up. So as I'm married, I don't feel any stress. I don't feel any lazy. I do it passion. And because of that, you see, these kids we have today, they're very observant. Now, you don't use talk to see something. No. They are observant. So whenever I and my wife, we are washing, they are there. They are putting their hand in it. Oh, mama, let him do this. Let him dry this. Let him... Kitchen. Today, my two boy and girl, Yima and Yaya, they'll be fighting as to who is supposed to fry egg.
Because they see their parents do
They do it, yes. I'm there doing it. My wife is there doing it. You're seeing it. So whatever you do in your home, in your marital home, is very key.
So at what point do you draw the line that, okay, this one is beyond me? I will not.
Oh, no, me, I will say I will not. See, if I'm broke, if I'm broke, I'll be honest with you, Charlie, and then she take off the responsibility. The same thing also happens to her. Baby, Charlie, and then so. I take up the responsibility. And one interesting thing I want to merge with this, you see all these things. If you don't go out and be telling people, hey, my husband, you see,
nobody will know.
Nobody. Just keep quiet.
Points.
Just keep quiet and be doing your thing. Because as soon as you go out there, hey, my husband, so you're sorry and we'll see your way, be careful. You see, I don't know the type of friends you have, but you are creating a kind of image, not negative image. You know, they will say, hey, sir, and they will hear you. And if your husband to be a nice person, handsome guy like me, and your friend, oh no, I'm telling you, this is a reality, and your friend is not married. You know, this is where other things backdoor also comes in. So you keep quiet, you know, everything you guys are doing, which is giving you joy within yourself. Don't talk too much. In your marriage, you see, sometimes it shocks me when there's a problem at home and people want to lean on third party. Master, the place you are going, which way is better?
Is it better?
There's fire.
Nowhere cool. Even a counselor you are going to share your issue with, have you asked her, how is also feeling
fought with the wife before even
you
coming.
understand? So
Before
when
the
they say
session.
yes,
The
when they
session you
say
paid for.
where's a conflict, when there's a conflict in marriage, there's only two things that can solve those conflicts. The first one is your God, your maker, God Almighty, and the second one is you and the two of you. Because when you pray to God for an understanding, and there's communication, you accept. Oh, Charlie, I think I've done the wrong thing. Although I'm sorry. You know women, you know them. Or my young won't start be. It's normal. But you keep on pushing.
I don't do myself stuff.
Oh no, if I
Senor
offend
is
you
saying
and you get it.
is right. We just have an issue of friction where I'm saying that everything he's saying right now should be in marriage where both people knew what they were going into together as one. That's the perspective he's coming from. I am of the opinion that from the word go, there was no marriage.
Yes, both of them.
What was existing then?
There was a contractual signature that they were going to cohabit, to raise children, and be happy ever after. That is not marriage. No. Because marriage is patience, marriage is compromise, marriage is discipline, accountability, selflessness. There's nothing about selflessness in this woman. Everything she is going into this marriage for is what she can get and how long she can get it for. The one I'm talking about is that there's nothing wrong with what Senor is saying. Everything about, in fact, I feel the Senor himself is tired of spending. Because you can't keep spending and eventually you're not getting
of course.
and you keep giving more. So that's why I said initially the problem is not the spending. It's about the fact that there's nothing coming back in return in any way.
Because the woman is
so
not
therefore,
supporting.
the foundation of this thing was zero. The guy had nothing.
Indeed, whether or not the foundation was zero, we'll find out more after this break. Stay with us. This is Lifestyle. Welcome back. This is Lifestyles, proudly brought to you by Peck Biscuits. Peck is back again, bringing you the best as they always do. Your favorite Peck biscuit has been made more milky, more tastier with 2 extra biscuits in every pack you buy. For all your great moments, Peck has got you covered. Get your 16% extra promo pack in any shop near you for Pecky moments. And then you know that on the show we give Peck biscuits to my guests so that they can get more energy and give you all the gist you want here on Lifestyle. So pretty shortly my guests will be munching on some milky, tasty Peck biscuits. But Kelly, let me ask you, in your line of work, do you encounter issues like these, and how do you go about it with your clients?
Well, that brings me to let you know that I want to give these books out for free. It's called...
Oh, you have books out
yes,
for free?
I have 42 books written out there, love-related. But this book is titled The Man You Should Not Marry, and it also talks about the woman you should not marry. I'll be giving it out for free. Just follow me on Instagram at Kelly Daniels Office. Just go there and send me a message. Send me your name and number, your WhatsApp number. Put it on your DM. The Man You Should Not Marry. So just follow right now on Instagram at Kelly Daniels Office, and then I will deal with that. Now, people don't know that when you take what is supposed to be a gift or treasured for granted, you blow every other opportunity that comes, and then you ruin every other person's chances around you not to benefit from what you got. Now, this woman is going to lose her brother's
School fees,
remuneration. She's going to lose literally everything. In fact, her family is in a mess in advance. I foresee a divorce. I foresee a terrible divorce at that. I'm seeing a separation. In fact, there's a separation existing right now. It's just that we've not spelled it out. And that's why we're discussing it on TV. Let this man know that he didn't get married. He only legalized his responsibilities to a woman who he had no business getting married to. This is why I'm saying this.
But perhaps there's a root cause we are not aware of.
The root cause of this was that he did not do his homework well. The woman was well calculated, unfortunately, to the negative. She wasn't ready to serve. Marriage is mutual service. Yeah. I serve you, you serve me. The children watch us, and they are jealous and envious and not willing to marry anybody who is not like how we treat ourselves. That's how, when you look at your grandparents, you're like, wow, I want to be like this.
Yeah.
But you hardly see children who look at their parents and say, wow, I want to be like this. The parents were separated when they were 5. So there's nothing to show. That's what is lacking. So fundamentally, what was wrong is that the man may have his free hands in giving and all of that, but he didn't do his homework to see reciprocation, genuine reciprocation in this relationship. He had enough to give such that he was blind to see that love was not existent. What was existent during courtship was affection he had for the woman giving him the attention he needed at that time, but attention is not necessarily the definition of love. As a matter of fact, let's just say she loved him. Love is not enough to sustain a relationship. What sustains a relationship is called committed purpose. When you are conscious of the commitment you gave to the why of the marriage, you would keep it accordingly. What is lacking here is this woman and this man did not mutually define the purpose for why they are getting married. Otherwise, on the journey, this man will say, this was not our agreement. What is happening here? This was not our agreement. What is happening here? The woman would not even need this man to complain. I don't have money, but I'll make sure that I put your mental health in a certain balanced situation where you don't have to worry about any other thing. Don't worry. I will saddle the responsibility. This woman is not saying she's going to do anything. She's not looking like she's going to repent anytime soon. The point is this man has got to wake up to realize that what he's into is a sponsorship situation. What he's into is a responsibility situation which should not be mandatory on him. Let them balance the why. Let them go back to the drawing board. This is why we are here. So I realize that you have been slacking on this area. Can you fix this? If not, this is no longer a marriage. So let him speak to the woman. Apart from speaking to us, like I said, before you talk to a counselor, before you talk to a pastor, before you talk to a third party, have a dialogue. Do everything you can in the calmest, meekest possible way to domestically fix the issue. When a third party is coming in, make sure you've exhausted all your options. All your options, including everything you can imagine. So that because most of the time when the third party gets into the marriage, that is the beginning of the end of that marriage. Except, of course, it's a professional counselor you are going into. At Kelly Daniels' office, just follow on Instagram right about now. At Kelly Daniels' office.
Baby.
Yeah.
If at any point in your marriage, your wife comes up with demands like these, how will you handle it?
Lily.
It can't really happen.
I like that.
Yeah. You see, sometimes when you are trying to talk about issues like this, and you know you personally, this thing can't just happen just like that. It looks some way. You see, like I said, communication is very key. Let your partner know from onset your strength, what you can offer, up to which level or which stage you can provide that thing up to. If in the process of the marriage, opportunity comes, doors open, and maybe your income goes up, it's a plus. And for now, let's manage what the little that I have. You have to support me. You have to be content with what I am bringing on board. I also have to be content with what you're also bringing on board. You don't have to be envious to each other. Especially, for example, if the woman's salary is more than the man's salary. Okay, other way around. You understand? There will be a complaint like, your money, your salary is too much. It's more than my own. But all the time you want me to do this, you want to do, those kind of things. It's conflict. It brings misunderstanding.
So in this instance, should the woman now take on the responsibility of the man since she's earning more?
No. For me, on this narration, if the woman is bold to take the responsibility of his own blood brother. It will solve somehow. It will solve the problem, or it will be part of the problem solving. In the sense that
is this man also not empowered enough to empower his wife? Is that not the case?
Does she want to work?
Yeah.
Because if from the get-go she's never worked, and in the marriage she's not working, now she has kids.
Hey, Lily,
She's not even showing interest in working. No.
The working issue, is it from the onset that she's not working, or in the process?
Because it
now
looks,
she has given
like,
birth.
it looks
She's not
like
working.
he has been shouldering all the
This
responsibilities.
woman has been lazy from scratch.
Then the guy also did a big mistake.
That's what I'm saying. And
The
you are not
biggest-
listening to me. Fundamentally, there
You
was
see,
no marriage.
the biggest
This
mistake.
woman just saw a man who would take care of every and anything and says, voila.
and I'm
He saw-
even
he
thinking,
saw-
I want to
Yes.
think
The
of
means
this
to an end through the man.
about the marriage
That was
issue.
it.
Is it like the marriage happened through maybe pregnancy? The guy,
Either way.
no,
Either
because
way.
No, so they were married,
They were
and
married.
now they have kids.
wow, then Charlie, this is not a marriage.
You see, you are now speaking my language. There's no marriage. It's not a
Then,
marriage.
Don't you have some men who meet you as a woman and say, listen, I don't want you to work now that we have kids, so stay at home, take care of the kids, I'll give you remuneration as and when. And then you know that you have other responsibilities at home.
Yeah.
And this man is ready to shoulder those responsibilities. Is that not easy to say?
It's not. First and foremost, we don't work only for salaries.
Yeah.
Satisfaction. To feel fulfilled in life.
Thank you.
That's it. It's not about what we stand to gain in the job, no.
Yeah.
Meeting people on there,
Yeah.
advancing, that is it.
Yeah.
So you don't just meet someone and then ask the person to sit at home and then you show that everything. No.
No.
There will be problem in the future.
Yes.
In the instance where the
Lily,
fulfillment
Lily, I want to do a top up.
is in having children, raising family, can the man say, okay, I think that I see you raising family and you're fulfilled, so quit the job and come take care of the kids?
Lily,
I can still work
any
and then
lady,
raise a
any
family.
woman, any woman,
A
that's
good
a man,
woman
yes.
can still work and
still-
raise a family.
A virtuous woman, Ankasa.
Yeah.
Let's call it that.
Any woman.
One at a time,
Apportion your
please.
time. You can still work. If it means you doing a part-time something, if it means you running your own business so that you can have time for your family, do it. But don't sit at home. Don't let your husband make you sit at home. Because in the near future, it will come back to you.
Anything can happen to the
Anything
man.
can happen
happen.
to the man.
Anything.
Anything.
So what
Anything
happens when
can
something
happen.
happens?
So that when you start a relationship from that angle, it is doomed to fail. It is just doomed to fail.
Bibi, you're making a point.
Yeah, you see, if you're a wife along the line of your marriage journey, and all of a sudden your husband comes, so you now have money, so quit your job, come home, do the
I'll pay
cooking.
you.
That's
look
wrong.
after. I'm coming. Look after the kids. You pump about so much money into your account as an evidence. My dear sister, think twice.
Why?
Lily, see, the journey of marriage is no joke. Nobody knows tomorrow. Nobody knows what will happen to the man who is rich today. Nobody knows. So for that matter, that is why, God is so amazing in a way that he knew that the two, when they come together, it will be workable. Because in a situation where both of you are working, and along the line, one lost his job, it means one have to support until you get a job. Then you move on. You understand? What about if you're alone and you lost, like you lost your job? There's no one there to support you. Then something is going to happen to you. So for marriage, it's for two people. So the woman has to do something, the man has to do something. You bring some more, I bring some more. They will put together. They will fix it. So that in the future, you see, when A bring, B bring, you see, it makes, when you're supposed to, a man, if you're supposed to spend so much, it's cut off. So that you can also save portion of the money. So that you'll be managing small. So for me, I don't buy the idea where a man will tell a woman, come and be at home. Let me. I think this kind of thing doesn't work in this 21st century. It
What,
won't.
what if the gentleman in this letter, it was his idea from the onset?
Was it their idea?
Or his idea?
Nobody has monopoly of ideas in marriage.
It should be two of you.
It has to be, what are we agreeing on? What is the marital master plan we have?
Yeah.
What are we putting on paper to say this is our marital constitution? Like I say, every marriage must have a vision statement, a mission statement, and a marital constitution. A mission statement is a statement that has to do with where we are going. So we all know that this is the goal. A vision statement is a document that shows how we want to achieve the journey to where we are going. Now, a constitution is the little rules that guide how we get to where we are going. If you are dating or married and you don't have a marital vision, a marital mission statement, and a marital constitution, you are a comedian. Because very soon you'll be shocked at how things will fall apart in your very eyes.
Sure.
If you are dating or married or even single, you must have a mission statement for your marital destiny. So that when you meet someone who is in alignment with what you've already written before you met them,
It's a plus.
that's going to be beautiful. But if you don't have something written down on paper on what you want to achieve, any good-looking guy or good-looking lady will fit into the picture you didn't even have anyway. So you must have a vision statement for your marriage, a marital vision statement, a marital mission statement.
Is it easy to do that in
What?
today's world?
Then don't marry. Is there anything I want to accomplish in life I mustn't? The Bible says you count the cost before you should even start anything at all. How much more marriage which is for your forever? If there's anything you should plan for in this life, it's the marriage. Because your career hinges on it, your everything else hinges on it. So if this one fails, everything else comes crashing down. Go and ask Steve Harvey. He's on his third marriage right now, and he's secured in his career right now because his marriage is in order. You understand what I'm saying? So it starts from the fundamentals. That's why marriage is not for children. Marriage
Absolutely.
is for good thinking, intelligent, mature adults.
So, Lily, let me also come in here. So, for me, you made mention of fundamental. Yes. The fundamental of the youth we are producing today, who are getting ready to get married, is poor. Our religious body. I'm coming.
It's zero.
Is zero. Okay, thank you. Our religious body, the Christianity, the Islam. Today, what are they teaching we the youth today? Our institutions, as in the state institutions, which is supposed to protect women, children, when a woman is being abused, does the law take its own course?
The law does. I mean, we've had interactions with personnel from...
No, I'm just breaking things down. You know, sometimes, you see, once a while you hear that they solve something, but there's a lot of people somewhere which they are being abused.
Because I think it is because of our cultural orientation. And so a lot of women are not reporting because they think that we can solve everything at home. They ask themselves questions, what did I do to warrant it, other than seeking refuge in the law?
So, Lily, all what I'm trying to say is that, you see, I think the basic, our fundamental, there's a very poor foundation somewhere. You see, even when you look at even our traditional leaders, you know, gone are the days. Our traditional leaders are people in the community you find yourself. They actually help in you, even the parent, bringing
shaping up
the kids. And we, the parent too, there's another fundamental error somewhere. Because you see, we've given birth. Now, parents are in a hurry to leave home. They see their kids late in the night.
Is it not to look for daily bread?
Yes, Lily, you see, that's what I'm trying to say is that, you see, the whole marriage issue, if marriages is failing today, it's not like it just happened. When the fundamental is weak, it will expose you. Let me give you a typical example.
Now you're talking like the vice president.
Yes. A typical example. I don't know if I'm permitted to stay. You see, there's a TV show that is being shown on Sunday. Okay, Date Rush.
I'm sorry, you're not allowed to.
Okay, sorry. Okay.
We're not promoting any
sure.
other show here.
So a program of this nature, sorry, I'm just using it as example. You see, one day I went to buy wachi, and in the process of doing wachi, and we were discussing this kind of thing, and I asked ma, hey ma, you have time to watch? I say, yeah, I just watch. And so among those ladies out there, will you allow your husband, your son, who is ready for marriage, to marry any of them? If you see the reaction, me. She started showing so many things. You see, that thing is an example of the type of people you are producing out there. Because you see, if you listen to them, they are intelligent. You could realize that those people, that's
close to zero.
Even if you want to rate them, they don't even get, you'll get -0.
Kelly, you said something. You said our fundamentals are 0. What do you mean by that?
Train up a child in the way he should grow. When he's old, he will not depart from it. Train up a child, not a youth, not an adult, not a man or a woman. Train up a child. When you miss the fundamentals, the grassroots, they say when the fish is fresh from the sea, you can bend it. There's a point that you get to, if you don't bend it on time, when you want to bend the fish, you're going to break it. When it's broken, it loses everything else that makes it beautiful or attractive to buy or consume. Therefore, the fundamentals I was talking about is when you, before, you know something critical. We have sex for pleasure, but we forget that there are responsibilities attached to that sexual activity. How many of our parents, including your father and mine, how many of them really calculated our conception before our mothers got pregnant?
I doubt.
You see, when we don't check the fundamentals like I'm talking about, everything else goes wrong. You did not calculate the child's coming before he was conceived like my father and my mother did. How then would you get the best out of the child when he's growing up, when you don't even have a master plan on how he's going to grow? Because if you had a master plan on how he was going to grow, you would be careful to know what year he's coming, what are the preparations around his coming, and all of that. We don't have much time, but go on Instagram right now and follow at Kelly Daniels Office on Instagram. Ask me all the questions. We don't have time, unfortunately. But I'll answer all your questions.
We don't have time, but
on Instagram,
in just 30 seconds each.
Right.
What should this gentleman do? The wife is threatening divorce. Should he go ahead and give her the divorce, or he should try and resolve it? 30 seconds each.
He can resolve it if the woman's head is correct. But unfortunately, there's a problem. The woman is not thinking. So the problem is that we should find a way to make this woman see what her actions is costing her generation. When you open it like that, she would see beyond her husband and see that her children are involved and everybody else is involved. So let's fix the woman and let's give the man more patience. It can work.
Jane?
I'm not sure that this woman is ready to be fixed.
Unfortunately.
She's just threatening the husband. The husband should grant the divorce to her. And trust me. Trust me, when the husband grants, she will be humble.
She'll be humble.
Baby.
Yeah, so for me, to the gentleman, you see, when there's issue, it's all about communication. The guy should really go back and engage the wife and see if they can put up some kind of measures in order to refix the marriage. And if he tries and doesn't work, my dear brother, don't die in marriage.
And so you heard it. Do not die in marriage if it is not fixable. Thank you very much to my guests, Kelly Daniels, he's a family advocate, Jane Oba, Ifwa Oba. She's a CEO of GHOne's Bakery and Catering Services and Party on Ice and Events Management Company, and Bernard Benson Senior, BB Sky, CEO of Skybase Entertainment. My name is Lily Mohammed. Thank you to all the people who make the show possible, my producer, director, camera, sound, lighting, the floor, everybody. I appreciate you so much. Have a good night.